This is CBC Here and Now.
We're live in Brigus tonight. The Blueberry Festival is back. There's lots of fun activities planned, and hopefully the weather holds up.
Access to health care.
That's unacceptable for the people of Whitbourne, the people for the province, and the people for the surrounding communities.
It's gone from crisis, it's desperation.
The fire chief and the mayor in Whitbourne are concerned about the local emergency room closure. That's coming up on Here and Now.
The union and inmate advocates say this prison is on the verge of a lockdown, and it's the lack of guards that's the problem. I'll have that story coming up.
Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Carolyn Stokes, and apologies, we're starting a little later tonight due to the Little League Baseball Championships, but we will be a full 1 hour show and there's lots of news to cover, so let's get going. Our top story tonight, the hospital closure in Whitbourne. The emergency department at the Dr. William H. Newhook Health Centre in Whitbourne has been closed now for 7 straight weeks. The town's mayor and fire chief say the closures are putting lives at risk. Our Heather Gillis has that story.
The town of Whitbourne sees a lot of heavy traffic along the Trans-Canada Highway. That means these firefighters are often first to respond to serious accidents. Fire Chief Jamie Budden says some months they even use the jaws of life 5 or 6 times.
We deal with a lot of high speed, high impact, high trauma calls, people who need an emergency room immediately. And it's not good for the patient, and it's not good for the people.
When crashes happen, Budden says sometimes it can take 45 minutes or longer for an ambulance to show up. But there's a bigger problem. Emergency care is far away. It's because the emergency room at the Dr. William H. Newhook Healthcare Centre in Whitbourne has been closed for 7 straight weeks.
That's unacceptable for the people of Whitbourne, the people for the province, and the people for the surrounding communities. We serve people from all over the world traveling back and forth our highway. How am I supposed to tell them that you're going to be a couple hours away from an emergency room?
The temporary emergency room closures started at the end of June. They continued for all of July and into August and even into next week. The fire chief isn't the only one who has concerns about the lack of emergency services here in Whitbourne. The mayor, Hilda Whalen, is also concerned. She's calling for government to act.
Hello. Speaking.
Whalen thinks she knows what the problem is. She says there have been fewer internationally trained doctors practicing in the province due to licensing changes. Numbers from the province's medical association show 41 internationally trained doctors became members of the association in 2018. By 2021, it dropped to almost half of that. Whalen says those internationally trained doctors were key to staffing their rural healthcare centre.
The only way that we will get doctors is if they pay out big time. That's more than any other province pays, more incentives. It's gone from crisis, it's desperation. Desperate times take desperate measures.
Meanwhile, until there are more doctors recruited to the Whitbourne Health Centre, the fire chief is left fearing what will happen the next time he's called to a serious accident.
My biggest fear is somebody's going to die.
Heather Gillis, CBC News, Whitbourne.
Late this afternoon, Eastern Health sent a statement to CBC News saying it is, quote, committed to working with communities and staff to seek long-term solutions to staffing challenges. The largest of the central Newfoundland forest fires remains stable tonight, but there's still a lot of work left to do. Crews continue to fight fires on the ground, and the weather is still on their side. Here and Now's Henrika Wilhelm is standing by in our newsroom. So, Henrika, what's the latest on this?
So there are several signs that the fire situation in central Newfoundland is moving in the right direction. The fires are still burning, but as you said, the recent weather means crews can now attack the fires from the ground as well as the air. The 2 biggest fires have not grown, according to Provincial Forest Fire Duty Officer Jeff Mahdi. The Paradise Lake fire still spans 172.33 square kilometers. The Bay d'Espoir Highway is still 56 square kilometers big. And the third smaller fire at the Southern Lake Access Road measures 2.83 square kilometers. The status of this last fire was also changed from out of control to 20% contained. But Marty says we haven't turned the corner just yet.
We could lose our progress in a matter of moments like we did last week if the wind comes up and the temperatures come up and we don't get rain on site. Because what's been happening down that way so far is anywhere that we had rain in that area, it didn't actually fall on the site. We could have, a full weekend of drying conditions, which could spark conditions again.
49 firefighters on site. Marty says he's hoping another 20 from out of the province will arrive by Sunday to put out the fires more quickly. He says it will take some time to put out 170 square kilometers of fire. It could take up to another month.
That is a huge amount of area. We typically only have about 300 or 400 hectares burn in the province on a good year. So that is a lot of effort that our crews have to complete to get that fire put out before the end of the fire season.
All air quality alerts by Environment Canada have been lifted. That's why government has started moving patients back into healthcare facilities in Central Health. The Premier says the most urgent patients will be brought back last, a sort of reverse triage. The emergency shelter in Deer Lake has also been suspended. There's no need for it at the moment. And the Bay d'Espoir Highway remained open again today, a decision they'll re-evaluate tomorrow morning.
The main front of the fire is gone out. We don't see any open flames today. We have ground crews evaluating. Right now, we have no concern for the safety, say up to Grand Falls or central communities, because there's no active base. Last week this time, the flame are like tens of feet in the sky and big plumes of smoke for miles and miles and miles. And all we're seeing now is a light smoke, something like you see after you would extinguish a campfire sometimes.
Now, the state of emergency has been lifted starting midnight tonight. That decision was made just in the last hour or so. Reporting live from the newsroom, I'm Henrike Wilhelm in St. John's.
Well, time now to check in with Ashley.
Definitely. Oh.
Hi, Ashley, who's in beautiful Brigus tonight. The Blueberry Festival is underway there. Ashley, how's it all looking?
Yeah, it's everything's starting to come together out here. Weather's a bit cool, as it has been for the last couple of days. A little bit of cloud cover and some showers in the area as well. But let's take a look at what's actually going on out there as far as systems are concerned. We do have an area of low pressure to the north with a cold front that is sparking some thunderstorms up across the big land. And then, as you can see there are some showers around for eastern Newfoundland. They are going to work their way across the island, or across eastern areas of the island anyway, as we head through the overnight tonight. But taking a look at the live shot outside of St. John's, temperature 17 degrees. There's a bit of humidity in the air, about 20 is what it's feeling like. And as we head through the next couple of days, we're going to see that change in the pattern. So we're going to allow some more warm and even more humid air to move in as we get through the weekend. Take a look at these dew points. By the time we get into tomorrow afternoon, dew point at 20. That means we're going to start to feel very uncomfortable as far as that humidity goes. That's going to stick around through Sunday and even into Monday. I'll get into the long-range forecast when I come back.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, the largest prison in the province is on the verge of total lockdown. Now, that's according to prison advocates and the union representing guards. As Here Now's Malone Mullen reports, staffing levels at Her Majesty's Penitentiary are now critical.
This is where inmates serve their time at HMP. Like any jail, they should be allowed outside for exercise, or to the library to read, or to counseling rooms to fulfill conditions for their parole and learn from their mistakes. All of that is designed to rehabilitate the issues that put them here in the first place. But lately, inmates at Her Majesty's Penitentiary are spending more and more time staring out from their cells.
We have people that have made the decision to leave the job. We have people that have sustained physical and mental health injuries in that workplace that are not able to be on the job right now.
Jerry Earle represents prison guards in the province. He says staffing levels inside HMP are now critical. Guards are being forced to work 24-hour shifts, and sick leave is spiking.
Yeah, I've heard staff basically saying, I'm not sure how much longer I can do that. I can't go back and work in that facility.
All of that tension means an indefinite lockdown is looming.
It's kind of like a pressure cooker right now.
Cindy Murphy leads an organization that counsels inmates about mental health, domestic violence, and anger management. She says workers are being turned away at the door as recently as yesterday because there aren't enough prison guards to supervise. Denying inmates rehab, she says, infringes on their rights.
Being convicted of an offence and sentenced to incarceration is the punishment. That's what your loss of freedom is, the punishment. It doesn't mean that people need to be punished every single day or should be punished every single day while they're in there. And sometimes that's what's happening, that the conditions are so inhumane that people are being punished day in and day out.
The Justice Department says it's hired 26 correctional officers since last May, and it's looking to hire more. But the union and advocates say a quicker fix is needed. Murphy thinks a better solution would be to lower the number of inmates at HMP now, letting some of them out on early release and decreasing the tension inside. Malone Mullen, CBC News, St. John's.
Harbour Grace RCMP foiled a theft this week. A report came in Wednesday afternoon, just minutes after an alleged crime occurred. An officer on patrol in Carbonear had passed a vehicle towing a trailer. Less than 20 minutes later, the call came in. It was reportedly stolen. The vehicle was located and stopped not far from Veterans Memorial Highway. The driver was taken into custody without incident, and the trailer was returned. The RCMP says the owner's quick reporting led to a swift recovery. Well, just in time for the weekend, the price of gas is up sharply across Newfoundland and Labrador today. The unexpected change from the Public Utilities Board saw the maximum price rise 8.8 cents a litre. Regular unleaded gasoline now costs $1.89 a litre on the Avalon and as much as $2.01 a litre in Ramia. The rise follows 2 weeks of steady decreases. There's no change to other types of fuel. Well, the lives of a young Gander couple will be remembered this weekend with a car meet. This will be the third gathering in honor of Brenda McLean and Bree Horn, who were killed in a head-on collision in July 2020. McLean was 23 years old, Horn was 22. Both were car lovers. The first car meet saw people come from right across the province, and there are plans to expand next year to locations throughout the island.
Had a big response, a good one, thankfully. It's definitely brought a lot of people together. I know the first year there was probably well over 300 people that came. So it's really nice to see people get together and have a good time at something so sad.
Well, the Churchill Park Music Festival is kicking off a weekend full of music with bands like Matchbox 20, Our Lady Peace, Ann Wilson of Heart, and many others taking the stage over the next 3 days. That's Heart's Ann Wilson backing the Amazing Dogs during sound check. When we visited the park earlier this afternoon, workers were still busy preparing. Gates opened at 4. The organizer says this is expected to be the biggest show of the summer.
How does it feel being back and organizing festivals again, live music again after the pandemic?
It feels great. I mean, it's been 2 years without it. George Street Festival was a hit. Iceberg Alley came through, and now we're probably the biggest show of the summer. So we've got Harlequin starting at around 5. We've got David Wilcox, Randy Bachman Band, and then Ann Wilson of Heart. Then tomorrow is Timber, Gin Blossoms, Our Lady Peace, and Matchbox 20. And then on Sunday is Come Home Year with the original Irish Descendants, Massless Men, Celtic Connection, a number of bands related to the Come Home Year celebration. So great day of music.
Well, I'm here in beautiful Brigus tonight for the Blueberry Festival. A little bit of a drizzle around, but that never stopped anybody. And joining me now is the committee chair, Barry Goss. So Barry, how are you feeling tonight?
Feeling pretty good. We seem to have everything done, everything prepared. And we're looking forward to the weekend.
So what's going on for tonight?
Tonight we have our opening ceremony at 6:30. Then we have our kitchen party at the rec center at 7. And then after that, we have our street dance at 9:30 with Midlife playing this year.
Awesome. So can you give us a quick rundown of the other types of events that are going on this weekend?
Well, we have 2 street dances, which was tonight and tomorrow night. We have vendors here. We have all types, from clothing, games, bouncy castles, you name it, we got at Folk Festival. Lots of food vendors.
I was going to say lots of food trucks around. What kind of food trucks are there?
We have French fry, we have hot dog, hamburger, a bit of everything.
A little bit of everything for everyone. So the Blueberry Festival is back, first time since 2020.
Yes.
How significant is this?
I think it's good for the town. It brings a lot of money, a lot of people into the community. We have 3 restaurants running. Our fire department benefits very much from the festival. And that's about it.
So how long have you been involved in the committee?
This is about my 7th year.
And what is your absolute favorite thing about the festival every year?
Probably fireworks.
Unfortunately.
But unfortunately, our fireworks are postponed because of the fire ban. So we will have another date set for that when the fire ban is lifted. And like I say, we have 2 concerts going on here in September. So we're hoping probably to get them set off during that time.
Okay, well, this is a great setup. There's lots of tents around, so obviously things will be fine.
Yes.
Rain or shine.
Yes, for sure.
Thank you so much for joining us. And the Blueberry Festival is going to go on all weekend, and I will have a special forecast coming up.
Well, let's go back to Ashley, who's in Brigus this evening. Ashley, you talked about a special Blueberry Festival forecast. What can festival goers expect weather-wise this weekend?
Well, I mean, it's been cool for the last couple of days. A bit cool out here tonight as well. But as we head through the weekend, things are going to be a bit unsettled. Let's take a look at the forecast for Brigus. Some showers obviously around now, and that will continue as we head through the evening hours tonight. About 16 degrees should be the overnight low. Tomorrow, it is going to be humid, and really that will continue through the weekend. Temperatures, though, in the mid-20s. We may see a few peaks of sun, but overall, we are still looking at that chance of showers, maybe even some thunderstorms for Sunday. So definitely keep an eye on that. Taking a look at the temperatures today across the province, cool here in the east, but towards central, west coast, your temperature is much warmer, 24 degrees in Happy Valley, Goose Bay. And you can see some of that colder air starting to filter down, 13 degrees in Nain, 14 in Makkovik, 21 in Cartwright, but those winds shifted today down to 15 degrees by 3 o'clock this afternoon, and that's because of that wind shift. So now with those northeasterly winds, temperatures, are going to start to dip for most areas across Labrador, but if you take a look at what's happening across the island, not a whole lot of humidity in the air at the moment. A little bit through Corner Brook, feels more like 27, 28 in Deer Lake. But as we head through the weekend, that humidity really going to move in with those humidex values likely in the low 30s through the weekend. So taking a look at what's happening right now, area of low pressure to the north, that is sparking some thunderstorms, and then we do have some showers as well that are working their way across eastern areas of the island, just south of here in Brigus right now, but still anticipating that we may see a few showers. Future tracker definitely showing that through the overnight. We may even see a little bit of heavy rain associated with that as well. And the risk of thunderstorms across Labrador will continue at least for the next couple of hours, and then that should taper off as we get into the early morning hours tomorrow. Temperatures tonight not really moving too much, between 13 to 16 degrees is the overnight lows. Those winds generally easing, light winds up across the Big Land as well. A little bit warmer for you, about 15 in Happy Valley, Goose Bay through the overnight, but another chilly night expected for Lab City. But the long range forecast for Lab West looks absolutely beautiful. Finally going to feel very summer-like for the next little bit. Taking a look at the forecast for Saturday, as far as the future tracker is concerned, we may see a few showers lingering, maybe even some drizzle through the day for the eastern half of the island. Otherwise, some sunshine. Can't rule out the chance of a few showers, though, in and around there. But overall, Those clouds will be on the increase as the evening rolls through for sure. And then again, that humidity moving back in. Not a whole lot to talk about up across Labrador either. But as we head through the evening hours, that's when the better chance of showers will move in across the island and eventually southeastern Labrador as well as we get into Sunday morning. Temperatures tomorrow around 25 degrees for St. John's. Not a whole lot of wind to speak of, about 10 to 15 kilometers per hour. And then through central, or rather for Clarenville and Bonavista, rather, you're looking at a little bit more cloud cover in the way. But again, probably a few peaks of sun. It's definitely not a washout by any means. And then through central, your temperatures a bit warmer, certainly cooler along the south coast. Harbour Breton around 19 degrees, but Grand Falls, Windsor, Gander, you'll be hovering between 22 and 24 degrees. But like I said, not a lot of wind, so these conditions still very favorable for that fire to help with the fire, I should say. And as far as the west coast goes, your temperature's definitely a bit warmer, mid to high 20s, and with that humidex, it's going to feel a bit warmer than that. However, your winds will be out of the northwest, around 10 to 15 kilometers per hour. Not a whole lot, but still a bit of a breeze. Port aux Basques, some sunshine tomorrow, and 24 degrees. Looks like a beautiful day for you. And then as far as the northern peninsula goes, you're still looking at the chance of showers through the day. Temperatures warming up again for Cartwright, around 23 through the afternoon with some sunshine. And then those temperatures again warming up across the Big Land. 19 degrees in Nain tomorrow with lots of sunshine. And Lab City, sunshine and 21. And let me tell you, there are lots more 20-degree temperatures in the long-range forecast, and I will break all of that down for you coming up a little bit later, along with some more stuff from Brigus.
The avian flu is ravaging the bird population here at Cape St. Mary's Ecological Reserve. All you have to do is look at this rock to see the population thinning out, dead birds everywhere. Coming up, we'll speak with the interpreter here at Cape St. Mary's to find out what they're seeing. Well, it's such a sad sight to see dead birds covering the cliff sides at one of the province's most celebrated nature reserves. Avian flu is devastating the population of gannets at Cape St. Mary's Ecological Reserve. We visited the sanctuary today to get an update on how the size of the population has changed. We spoke with reserve interpreter Chris Mooney, who's worked at the site for the past 2 decades.
Well, Carolyn, about 3 weeks ago, we started to see dead birds were starting to wash in on the beaches. In the past 2 weeks to a week and a half here, you can see a big difference in the ones dying on the mainland and on the sea sector.
So what we're seeing here today, how does that compare to the number of birds here last year?
We're missing thousands of birds from this time last year. It's unbelievable how many dead birds are on the mainland and on the sea sector. Yeah, so easily thousands of birds. I won't say hundreds of birds, thousands of birds.
Can you talk a bit more about that? Because I know with avian flu, it's hard to know what kind of a toll it's taking on the bird population. So many of the birds that die we'll never see because they die out in the ocean. But what are you seeing here on the ground? How many dead birds are around?
We're not losing as many chicks, but we're losing lots of adults. So they mate for life. So they live an average 30 years and they mate for life. So we're losing mates. So which we don't know the impact, and nobody knows the impact about how long it's going to take them to get back to where they are, right, like last year or this time last year, but they will get back to it. Yeah, but most of the birds, a lot of them are washing in on the beaches, a lot of them are dying out to sea, but it's hard here to see them dying right here and on the main lake and on Bird Rock itself.
What kind of an effect is this all having on tourism?
Yeah, it's different. Like when everybody used to come down before, everybody was all smiling and happy, and they're still smiling and happy when they come here first, but when they start to see the birds, you'll get different when they're asking questions. How come this bird is dead or that bird is dead? When you try to explain to them about everything, yeah, it's like a morbid feeling, so it is 100% different.
And what's it like for you personally? You've been working here for 21 years. You're invested emotionally, I'm sure, in this place. What's it like for you seeing all of these birds die every day?
Yeah, it's not as easy. Like listen, I can spend 3 and 4 and 5 hours out of a day, but you don't spend as much time out now because you're showing people dead birds, and you're just wondering how long it's going to take them to get back to where they were last year. So yeah, it's not a nice feeling for sure.
It's a heartbreaking sight to see. What concerns you most with this going forward? Like what are your biggest fears for the future?
Listen, this is so new. Nobody really knows. So this is brand new for us. I've been here 21 years. I haven't seen nothing like it before. So this is a learning game for everybody. Now they will get back and they will repopulate again, and it will get back to good numbers. Nobody knows how long it's going to take, but it will get back to the way it should be for sure.
What do you think this could do to the appeal for tourists? Do you think you'll see fewer people coming here because of this?
Well, we've noticed a little drop the past couple of weeks because people are hearing about it, and I suppose nobody wants to see dead birds around. We're still getting a good few tourists, but not what we should be getting for sure. Now, listen, there's been no one here the last couple of years, so we started to get back to normal this year. But yeah, no, we noticed the last couple of weeks the numbers have dropped, and we're just figuring that's why they're dropping, because of the dead birds.
I found some hope in hearing Bill Montevecchi talking about how when the population does rebound, that the birds will be stronger and healthier and have an immunity built.
Yeah, 100%. And listen, looking the last couple of days, I'm thinking that it might be peaking, because the last couple of days I haven't noticed any extra dead birds, so maybe we're at the highest peak now, and the ones that are here now are the ones that are going to survive. So hopefully that's the way it is.
Well, fingers crossed this will be the end of it. Chris Mooney, thank you so much for this. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Carolyn. Thanks.
Well, here's something that will make bird lovers happy. Avid birder Bruce McTavish shared these images on a local birdwatching Facebook page. It's a rare but deeply desired sighting, the Steller's sea eagle, which has been documented touring across North America this summer. So what makes it so rare? Well, this eagle is native to Eastern Asia. Birders from all over have been scrambling to catch a glimpse of it, and earlier this week, south of Trinity, Bruce spotted it for himself.
The Blueberry Festival is underway here in Brigus. There will be lots of crafts, music, games, and of course, some yummy blueberry treats this weekend. But what you may not know is that this is also a very important fundraiser for the local fire department. So joining me now is the chief, Rodney Mercer. So tell me, how important is this to the fire department?
Well, it is greatly importance to us is because this is one of our biggest fundraisers throughout the year. We are mostly no burden to our town. We're mostly self-sufficient, and I say we're so good as any fire department in financial across the island. So we are having this fundraiser again this year to help our community, to help our town, and to beautify what's happening in the town of Brigus. You know, there's that many people coming through. Also, what we do with our money is that we are saving our money up for a new fire truck, because our old 69 has reached its potential. So it's time to look for a new one, and we want one that's a bit shorter on cutting radius, because the town is a very small spot.
Right. So I understand that you've been able also to do some renovations as a result.
Yes, we have, ma'am. As you can see, what you're standing on there is a new floor, which was done by H&D Designs, which did an excellent job. And just about a week ago, we just had some new pavement put down in the front. So that's another $26,000 spent. So, and hopefully we'll make some of that back the weekend.
Right. So speaking of that, it's the first time back now in 2 years. Can you describe what's going on in Brigus right now? The feeling?
I thought it might be slack back. I mean, I've been doing this for the last 33 years. Since the festival been going, and I thought that after taking a 2-year absence, I figured that maybe it might never, proceed the way it's going. But with the people around this week again, and like a Friday today, I mean, you got a job to get around Brigus again. So it looks like that the Blueberry Festival is strong and still growing, and it's going to be a great one.
So what is your favorite thing about the Blueberry Festival?
Oh my God, my favorite thing, sitting back and watching some of the drunk people coming in and carrying on. So, that's, I love it. We don't get a chance to really get out and enjoy what's happening on the field, because we have to look after what's happening in behind, make sure everyone is careful. And that's the biggest thing, Old acquaintances coming home like for maybe 25 years ago and coming up and saying, I know you. Like, where did you meet me to? But that's what I really like about it, because when I come to the bar, there's this one calls up, come up, Rodney, I'll speak to you. So, there's a lot of people you don't realize that's been gone for 25 years, and the complex after changing on them.
Right. So how can people support the fire department?
Well, people support the fire brigade by coming here the weekend, and the bar will be open in full bloom at 2 o'clock on Saturday and 2 o'clock on Sunday, and also the dance tonight and a dance on Saturday night, and it's a small dance outside in the rec centre on Sunday night. And all proceeds go back to the fire brigade.
Okay, perfect. So thank you very much and good luck with the fundraiser.
And thank you very much, ma'am. And thank you for coming out.
Well, you're looking at a live shot of beautiful Brigus, where that annual Blueberry Festival is underway. Lots on the go this weekend. There's music, games, dances, not to mention that giant 3-foot blueberry pie. Well, a trombonist from Torbay and a rising singing superstar from China have found harmony together. That's because Hilary Sims is about to marry Ricky Nan. Now, you may not recognize his name, but more than 1 billion people in China know him. Heather Barrett of CBC Radio's Weekend AM sat down with the musical power couple. You can catch that full interview on Weekend AM this Sunday, but here's a preview.
Hi everyone, I'm Ricky. I am a Chinese singing actor.
And I am Hilary Sims. I am a professional trombonist, and this is my fiance.
We're engaged.
Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace.
We met at Yale University.
For our masters.
For our masters. We were both music students, and yeah, that's where we met, 2017.
So Ricky, tell me about what happened to your career when you went to China.
It all started with 2018. I finished my first year at Yale. We were at Aspen Music Festival together, and then I got a call, just said, hi, Mr. Ricky, this is a TV show called Super Vocal. That we're about to start shooting in China. It's all about classical singer and musical theater singers. And that's like the first ever TV show like that in China. And that turned out to be a sensational TV show and event. It kind of went viral in China.
Yeah.
So
It went viral to the point where we're walking down the streets in Toronto and we get recognized because of him. When we got engaged, I put it on Facebook, obviously, and like shared it with friends and family, and it was really exciting. But all of a sudden, Ricky's in China, I'm in the US, and he texted me, he was like, what did you do? I was like, what do you mean, what did I do? And he was like, we're going viral in China. I was like, what do you mean we're going viral in China? There was this little, almost like ET Canada video clip of all of these pictures that were taken off of my Facebook of the two of us. Anyways, by the end of the day, this video clip got 1.6 billion views.
Billion with a B?
Billion with a B, basically saying Ricky's engaged, he's taken ladies, and it's just the two of our faces plastered all over Chinese social media.
Yeah. Do you have millions of young Chinese women angry at you or something?
I certainly hope not.
No, I was worried about that, but like people gave us their blessings and they wish us.
Yeah, they're pretty happy for you.
Yeah, they're very happy for us.
What an interesting story. Well, staying with entertainers, a Canadian busker is on his way to the World Championship for street performers. Known as Shoe Boy, he's been performing for 30 years, and he can usually be found playing his guitar in downtown Saskatoon. Now, this fall, he'll be heading to the Busker World Cup in South Korea. CBC's Heather Morrison caught up with him on his favorite street corner.
How did you feel when you found out you were going to South Korea for a busking competition?
I didn't think, I couldn't believe it at first. I was reading the notification and I kept looking for the part where it said, now you just have to do this and then we'll probably send you a ticket if you pass through. And no, I read it about 4 times and it took me a couple days to actually for it to sink in. But yeah, I'm excited, yeah.
So tell us, how did this happen?
Well, I got a couple of emails and from people, and they said you should enter this contest, and it was a busking contest. And first, there was 2 parts to the contest. One is in Korea, Gwangju, and the other was an online contest. And they would take 16 people from around the world, and they would pay for their plane tickets there and back, which is a fair amount of money. It's a really nice thing. And so I thought, oh, what the heck, right?
Tell us a little bit about your setup.
Well, about 15 years ago, I was a single dad, and about 15 years ago, I said to my wife, I said, I'm going to go downtown and I'm going to play for a change. And she looked at me, and this is why I love her. She looked down and she looked up again. She says, okay, as long as you treat it like a job. So I said, okay. So I treat it like a job, and that was 15 years ago.
So you go by the stage name Shoe Boy.
Yes, that's correct.
Where did that come from?
So I have about 20 pairs of shoes, and some of them are pretty cool. I got a pair I just got on Father's Day. They look like jewelry. They're really cool. So that's how I got the name Shoe Boy.
Can you describe the pair that you're wearing right now?
Yeah, the pair I'm wearing right now is all covered with license plates, and they're really striking, and I get actually a lot of compliments on them.
What do you think it is about busking, that you enjoy more than you would if you were just a typical stage performer playing in venues?
It's building a sense of community, and it's actually interacting with the people on a personal level. Like when you're on stage, people don't come up and you don't have a conversation, but people come up and they tell me all kinds of things. People respond, you can see they like it, and then so you play a little better, and there's this energy that goes back and forth that you don't get unless you're playing live. Thank you. Ta-da!
Let's find out who's celebrating. Happy 60th anniversary to Ben and Catherine Farrell from Harbour Grace, now living in Gander. Congratulations to Bessie and Albert Knoll of Carbonear. They're celebrating 67 years of marriage. Wishing Lorraine and John Burt in Stephenville a happy 60th anniversary. Happy 63rd anniversary to Onslow and Shirley Hillier of Grand Bank. Anniversary greetings going out to Barbara and Barrett Greening of St. John's on their 59th anniversary. Happy 57th anniversary to Gordon and Lorraine Lawler of CBS. Best wishes to Llewellyn and Marilyn Ralph. They've been married 53 years. Wishing Lawrence and Beatrice Drodge a happy 52nd wedding anniversary. Happy 50th anniversary to Hiram and Selma Tucker. They're in Edmonton but are from the Northern Peninsula. Clarence and Pauline Parsons from Pasadena are celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary today. Happy 50th wedding anniversary to Alice and Tom Rideout of Winterland. Congratulations to Mike and Madeline Cowell from Point LaHaye, who are celebrating 64 years of marriage. Max and Millie Seward of Greens Harbor celebrating their 56th anniversary today. Happy 50th wedding anniversary to David and Barbara Warford of Cupids. Wishing Joseph and Elrita Dunphy of Gander a happy 65th anniversary. Harold and Evelyn Carberry of Burgoyne's Cove have a lot to celebrate. Yesterday was their 58th anniversary and Harold's 80th birthday as well. Great way to never forget an anniversary, Harold. Happy 68th anniversary to Justin and Hilda McGraw of Tilting, Fogo Island. Happy 56th anniversary to Majors Linda and Wilson James in Gander. Congratulations to Calvin and Margaret Diamond on their 60th anniversary. Love from family and friends. Happy anniversary to Roy and Shirley Hodder. They're celebrating their 65th wedding anniversary. Happy 51st wedding anniversary to Clyde and Marilyn Bonnell in Grand Falls, Windsor. Wishing Alex and Melita Brace of Long Cove a happy 56th anniversary today. Elsie and Wilford Langdon of Norris Arm North are celebrating 59 years of marriage. Congratulations. Anniversary greetings going out to Pearl and Don Burton of Fortune, who will mark 70 years of marriage tomorrow. Wishing Jim and Cavill Anthony a very happy 58th wedding anniversary. Happy 68th anniversary to Harold and Myrtle Anderson of Gander. Best wishes to Ron and Sylvia Malloy of St. Mary's. They're celebrating their 51st wedding anniversary. Congratulations to Joe and Mary Edwards, who are celebrating their 61st anniversary today. Happy 50th anniversary to Oswald and Leonie Spurl of Hillview, Trinity Bay. Happy 55th wedding anniversary to Patricia and William Downey of St. Mary's Bay, now living in Portugal Cove. Happy 59th wedding anniversary to Ray and Joyce Humphreys in Lumsden. Now to some birthdays. Birthday greetings going out to Genevieve Perry in Glovertown, who's turning 93. Happy 90th birthday to Stella Collins of Hare Bay. Wishing Jim Warren of Gander a happy 94th birthday today. Happy 90th birthday to Violet Turner of Mackinson's. Birthday greetings going out to John Wall, who's 90 years old today. He's from Happy Valley Goose Bay and now lives in St. John's. Happy 91st birthday to Martha Ward from Little Bona, Placentia Bay. Best wishes to Alma House of Hawke's Bay, who celebrated her 100th birthday on August 9th. Happy birthday to Alfred Spearing, who turns 90 today. We're told he's the oldest resident in Mary's Harbour, Labrador. Happy 100th birthday to Nellie Burry from Twillingate, now living in Gander. And here's another big one. Special greetings to Elizabeth Williams of Lewisport, now living in St. John's, who will celebrate her 105th birthday on Monday. Best wishes to Daniel Gesso, who celebrates his 91st birthday tomorrow, and happy 97th birthday to Viola Crocker from Heart's Delight, now living in Carbonear. Another fine crowd. Congratulations once again. Well, weather has been a big factor for farmers in Western Canada, and while some areas have been too wet and others too dry this summer, there's another factor making things challenging in Saskatchewan. Grasshoppers are showing up in droves, and as Ethan William reports, the small pests are having a big impact.
On their farm near Woodrow, Dawn and Dolores Fowser can't go far without running into clusters of grasshoppers. And they've not only consumed the couple's harvest-ready canola and durum crops.
They strip the caraganas of their leaves. They look like they do in January right now. And then we went back a few days later, and they were on the evergreens eating needles. So I guess they're getting desperate for food.
They've come as far as the house, eating peony and raspberry plants on the deck and clinging to windows and doors, even showing up inside. And it's not just the Fowsers contending with these critters.
Going into the spring, we did have, significant amount of grasshopper eggs.
Todd Lewis farms just south of Regina. He says the insects are one more problem farmers are coping with this year.
Certainly in areas where it's been dry and the crops are struggling, they have been a very big problem and really will continue to be right until what's in the field is taken off and is harvested and put up into the bins.
Oh, there's a two-striped male, and you can see how obvious the stripes are.
Provincial entomologist James Tansey says weather conditions last year created a perfect storm for grasshopper growth this year.
And we had a nice warm spring, so that sped them through their development. So we had an early hatch, bit of green feed, so we had a bit of moisture in the spring to spur their feeding and allow further development. And probably most important, a really long, dry, protracted late summer and fall. So there was a really long period for these animals to get eggs into the ground.
Tansey says many of this year's grasshoppers are still young, and as long as the weather stays dry and warm, they'll continue to thrive. Which means Dawn and Dolores Fowser will be putting up with the critters for a while longer. Ethan Williams, CBC News, Regina.
Time to check back with Ashley, and this is a treat. It looks like a nice evening, but a little bit of drizzle on the go, I see.
In more ways than one, yes. Decided to bring Drizzle out, and Stevie's here too, but Drizzle's a little bit more camera friendly at the moment. She lets me pick her up like this. Oh, and there she goes. So out here tonight, we're gonna enjoy the weather and walk around Brigus. That's the plan anyway. Well, if we take a look at the forecast, what's happening as we head through the weekend, things are going to get really unsettled as far as the humidity goes. We're going to see that really move in as we head through Sunday. Taking a look at the future tracker and the forecast through the day. Likely going to stay on the gray side for the most part for the island, maybe for eastern areas of the island. Going to keep that chance of seeing some showers or rather some sunshine in the forecast. Around 25 degrees will be the afternoon high in St. John's, but again, that humidity feeling more like the low to mid 30s, I'd say, through the day. Northern Peninsula, you're going to stay on the cool side around 16 or 17 degrees, and then up across the Big Land, that chance of showers will stick around for Sunday, but we should see some sunshine in the mix for Lab City, and your temperature finally around 21 degrees, which is much nicer than it has been for the last little bit. As we head into Sunday evening and then eventually Monday, the area of low pressure is going to stick around. That's going to bring the chance of showers, which is definitely good news again for the fire situation. But the temperatures as we head through Monday into the afternoon are going to stay quite mild again, and like I said a little bit earlier, that humidity is going to stick around. So we'll see that temperature around 23 degrees for St. John's, but through Central down to the teens, but high teens at this point, 19 degrees for Gander, same thing for Grand Falls, Windsor. The better chance of showers, better chance of sunshine will be the further west you go. Port aux Basques looking beautiful, 21 degrees, and then 19 in St. Anthony for your daytime high. As far as Labrador goes, you're going to hang on to those 20-degree temperatures, and as well as lots of sunshine. 21 degrees. So we'll just take a look at the weather photo of the day. Nice be there. So thank you for sending that with us. If you have any weather photos, send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Oh, what a great photo. Love that there. Hope everyone has a great time out at the Brigus Blueberry Festival this weekend. That's it for us on this Friday evening. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you back on Monday. Good night.